On April 29, 2016, box offices premiered Ratchet Clank, the video game based on two of Sony's most iconic characters. Expectations were subtle, however the film was expected to deliver, especially after positive reception of the game released prior to it. Clearly it did the opposite, but why? What put the movie, based on the game, in such an inescapable acid lake of doom? Why did Ratchet Clank the movie fail? There were only 4 simple pieces that laid the film to rest. I'd like to start by killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Sony didn't have Deadpool's crack marketing team, and Ratchet & Clank's film was greatly affected because of it. When the first teaser hit YouTube with a release date of 2015, PlayStation 4 had just been announced, and expectations rose that this film would finally break the negative stigma of bad video game movies. An entire year passed before anything else was mentioned on the film, and in summer 2014, the first trailer was revealed. By 2015, Ratchet & Clank the movie was pushed to the following year, and finally had a locked date set in 2016, and by that time, it had already been 2 years and very little information had been released. Toward the end of 2015, a trailer dropped that only seemed to skeptically confirm the unfortunate. Ratchet & Clank wouldn't feel anything like the nature of the series, but a standard family movie. Ratchet & Clank's brand was kept out of the radar until the final months prior to release, where a heavy ad blitz hit Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, but very little was mentioned by PlayStation themselves. Social media wasn't blowing up about the film either, as little attention outside of the developers were tweeting and messaging about the upcoming animated video game movie. Out of 3 E3 conferences, 2 Gamescom keynotes, and PlayStation experiences, and the 1 Paris Games Week press event, PlayStation only featured Ratchet & Clank the movie in 1 out of all of them, releasing the film's first trailer at E3 2014 with an expected release date at the time of then 2015. The clear lack of marketing, whether from PlayStation or the movie's developer, truly damaged this film's chances, as multiple month gaps in updates hushed any interest, while release date movement only added fuel to the fire. But of course, Ratchet & Clank the movie couldn't suck, right? Remember, this was the film expected to fix the bad video game movie curse. How could this movie fail in telling such a simple story of the duo's inception, especially with the game's stellar reviews? No one expected this movie to be bad. Oops for such expectations. However, this movie shouldn't have been bad. If anything, it should have been great, not an hour-long compilation of Pixar-level cutscenes lacking any magic of the duo's history presented in gaming. Lastly, Ratchet & Clank's success was only further damaged by an awful opening weekend. This wasn't much of Sony's fault, but Disney's long-term success. While The Jungle Book opened 2 weeks prior, it was still hot on everyone's mind and dominating the box office, while Zootopia, Disney's similarly anamorphic but stronger storied 3D animated film, was still pulling in millions. You could easily call this the perfect storm, but if the film had been written better, marketed better, and mentioned more, it may have had the chance against Disney's unexpected dominance at the box office, and the film's negative critical response may have been a deciding factor, instead of not breaking the video game curse. Alright guys, those are my thoughts on why Ratchet & Clank failed. What are your reasons? What are your thoughts? Comment below. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian Swan, and stay tuned for more. Make sure to subscribe for more content as well.